So this is an 04 Silverado. Look at the paint.
04, yeah.
All right, 04 Silverado. Look at the paint.
Just gotta take that without the plate.
Right. Oh, of course, of course.
Gotcha.
Not that you could do anything with the plate anyway, because unless you were a law enforcement officer,
That's right. That's right.
But excellent paint. Look at the seats. Seats are in good shape. Usually the seats are all messed up right around here, but that looks nice. Yeah. So it's 119,000 miles. It's got a check engine light on, P332 and 442. You can hear that there's a slight exhaust leak. Rims look good.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah,
Got a few little dents on the top and it's got a cracked windshield. Yeah.
centralized look.
And
20 East.
That looks great.
20 East Hailing Lane, centralized. Hailing, H-A-L-L-A-Y.
So here's my new meter, plus a whole new replacement downstairs. 150 amp system. That thing was all wilted and worn up there from 1957. Now I've got a new replacement system so that it will never leak water down there. So it's Henry again, Mowers and Blowers. So today, Jason, my solar installer, came by and I says, hey, what's wrong? Is there something wrong with my solar? He's like, no, I just came to say hi. And by the way, do you have a weed whacker to sell? I said, are you kidding me? You want to buy a weed whacker from me, man? So this is Brian Barbaches, you know, the guy that brought it over to me, whatever. I fixed this like 3 times, whatever, bought the new kit. By the way, I did buy a whole new kit for that damn carburetor thing. That's why it starts and works and stuff. But I told him, I'm on camera telling him, I didn't feel good about selling it to him because I know him, you know? It's not the most reliable thing in the world, but it works when it works, you know. And he's like, I don't care. I just don't want to buy $200 still right now. So I said, all right, give me $50. He goes, his hand is in his pocket before I even finished my sentence. Anyway, you can't make this stuff up, I'm telling you. Anyway, so Jason bought my weed whacker. So, can you believe it? I actually sold Jason that damn weed whacker. I told him it's not the best weed whacker in the world. He still wanted it. I gave it to him. So, the guy standing next to him was Joe. He came by to check out one of my 2 Husqvarnas, you know. The Husqvarna 2448T. And this, you remember, Joe, my buddy Pete Lombardi gave it to me with that busted governor, but it turned out it was just a carburetor issue. So this is that YTH21K46 Husqvarna with the Kohler Courage. I even warned Joe. I told him the Kohler engines are great, right? But only their commands are known to be reliable. The Kohler Courage is actually known to not be so reliable. But, you know, it runs pretty good, you know?
Really good.
It runs really good. So, you know what I mean? I warned my new buddy Joe here about it, and he's like, well, whatever, man. I'm cool with it because I just need it to mow my half-acre yard. And I says, well, it'll definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? So, my new buddy Joe is going to buy the Pete Lombardi mower now, and he's got one hell of a setup here, man. If I could have a trailer like this would really make my life easier. He's got, like, homemade ramps. He said he made these. I mean, this looks professional, like it's professionally made, you know what I'm saying? So this dude's got some skills. He did the welding, too. Joe, you did welding, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
Originally a Home Depot trailer.
Oh, really? And what did that cost you?
About $600, I think I paid originally for the trailer.
Did you ever think about one of those Harbor Freight tool trailers? I bought one years ago for $200, but it took me like 3 days to put it together.
Exactly. No, this was already together. It just was very flimsy, not as strong for what I needed it for.
Yeah.
So I ended up customizing it, welding some, you know, some tube steel up here, putting the toolbox up here so I can have, you know, storage and straps and whatever I need, spare tires. This was all flimsy here. I had to reinforce it, welded some tacks here, welded it down to the frame. Then I ended up putting my neighbor came up with the idea of, hey, why don't you build a ramp for it? And that's what I did. Got the steel and built the ramp.
Dude, that looks great. You know, when I was loading this up for Joe, I mean, he had the ramps down. Man, I just drove up there. It was like the easiest load ever. Can you guys imagine if I was out picking for tractors, man? If it was that easy for me to get it on here and just drive away, I mean, that would be awesome. But I don't want the hassle of having to, have a trailer in my driveway.
It's a pain.
Then I got to hook it up to the hitch. And guys, look at this truck. Holy cow, man. I mean, do you guys see this truck as my new mowers and blowers truck? Man, that truck is out of control, man. Joe, for my viewers, what year is it? What engine?
It's a 2016 Duramax diesel, turbo diesel.
Turbo.
2016, yep. Denali, fully loaded. It's a really nice truck.
How many miles you got?
Just hit 60.
Damn.
Do a lot of driving with it, man. I go up to PA a lot. You know? I gotta do a little bit of, it needs a little bit of, you know, little issues here and there in the suspension because it's got a little bit of miles on it. You know, suspensions usually don't last. When you do a lift on a suspension...
Oh, you don't mind me doing this?
No, I don't. When you do a lift on a suspension, depending on where you are and where you're driving it, they take a beating, and you got to replace the bushings. You got to replace some parts to make it drive better again.
I see. That's a badass truck, Joe.
Yeah, I got to paint it. The front end's a little messed up, but it's good.
Anyway, for you guys who don't know New York, Long Island, you guys have met all the people that I've dealt with and stuff. New Yorkers, man, we're the best, seriously. They're all friendly, they're all cool, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys ever come to New York, man, look me up. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Some advice for you guys. Never drive while eating a double gordita crunch and Taco Bell taco while you're driving. Make a mess, sure. Yep, made a mess. Like I got caca in my pants.